It's a complicated matter.
Have you any explanation for Godfrey's disappearance?
No, none.
Which means the wise and famous Leonardo dal Toledo has found out nary a thing.
Brother Leonardo, one monk has died, and another has disappeared. I do not think it necessary to ask you to treat this matter with urgency.
Father, you know that in my opinion, this matter should be placed with the authorities in charge.
Brother, the last thing we need in these dark hours is to have the name of our Abbey on the lips of all Christianity. It is of the utmost urgency that you find Gottfried.
I'll start looking immediately.
Your reputation is hanging on a slender thread, Brother Leonardo. Don't forget that.
We're off, Bruno. Brother Thomas, do you have a minute?
Certainly, Brother Leonardo, I do. I do.
Has Brother Gottfried made an appearance here?
Appearance?
Whether you've seen Gottfried anywhere around here?
Oh, no, I haven't seen him.
I ask myself where he could be. A monk doesn't vanish into thin air that suddenly.
I hope he comes back soon. We're lost without a librarian's assistant. We need someone to fetch us the volumes.
Of course.
Brother Marcello could appoint a brother as temporary library assistant until Gottfried comes back, don't you think so?
It seems the perfect idea to me.
Fine, like I just finished telling you, it's only until Gottfried returns.
I must find Brother Gottfried. Goodbye.
Are you leaving already?
Yes, I intended to.
I wanted to tell you something because you're such a wise man.
Now, don't exaggerate, brother.
It's a somewhat...
Can't it wait until Gottfried reappears? I must find him and...
Gottfried will turn up. It will only take a few minutes of your time.
Does it have to do with Gottfried?
No.
In that case, we'll talk about it later.
But, Brother Leonardo, it will just take a moment. Can't you...
Quickly. I don't have all day, brother.
I'll be brief. I'll be brief. I know you're here because of Anselmo, and I don't want to keep you from your mission. That's why...
You said you were going to be brief.
Oh, yes, I will.
What's your opinion of the Occurita? You want me to put aside everything I'm doing so that we can talk about a stone?
Yes, it's important. Tell me, what do you think about the Occurita?
Are you talking about the stone that's created via alchemy? The one that holds the key to making...
The Philosopher's Stone!
It's nothing more than a myth, the same as the Occurita.
I've been researching, and I found out that it's feasible to make Occurita out of various minerals. Now comes the wonderful part. They're minerals that can be found practically everywhere. Isn't that marvelous?
Brother, the church took a long time before it acknowledged alchemy.
Naturally, faith holds priority over reason. I know. And?
You shouldn't put the Holy See to the test. Alchemy may have a number of uses, but making miracles is not one of them. Both of us know who can do that.
Yes, of course.
Let me give you a piece of advice, Brother Thomas. Please forget the subject and come back to Earth.
But in the end...
That's all. I have to go now.
All right, but say, couldn't you stay just a bit longer? I've already told you that you're such a wise man and...
No.
Stop! Don't move an inch!
What's wrong?
I'm mopping the floor.
Ah. Have you seen Gottfried?
Oh, he hasn't turned up here. Do you want me to let you know when I see him?
Yes, please. I'd like to talk to him. Have you seen Godfrey?
Oh, he hasn't turned up here. Do you want me to let you know when I see him?
Yes, please. I'd like to talk to him. I thought you were in the kitchen.
Yes, I should be. But someone's got to mop here. It was Brother Egidio's turn, but if he had enough to do before, then you can imagine what it's like now. Now that he has to replace Brother Anselmo. That's why we other brothers have offered our help. That's how it should be, don't you think so?
That's what your order says. I'll keep looking for Godfrey.
Don't worry. He'll turn up.
I hope so. It's blood. I don't need to touch it to know that. The pool of blood is fairly fresh. Why? Godfrey.
Is he...
Calm down, Bruno.
He's dead. Someone's killed Gottfried. He's dead.
No, Bruno. Wait. Have you examined the corpse?
Yes, I've just finished.
And what do you say?
The cause of death is obvious enough. Come over and take a look.
Godfrey was killed using a blunt object. I'm not sure if it was a piece of wood or some kind of tool, but that's not the key factor.
Are you sure? I mean, the killer is here in the Abbey, am I right?
Yes, most likely.
Let's assume that he was struck with a pan. Accordingly, the murderer would be...
Anyone who entered the kitchen to get a pan. No, Eladio, that's much too straightforward. The body was hidden behind an old door. That shows the attack wasn't planned, and that the killer, after having tried in vain to hide the evidence, fled from the scene of the crime, quickly and frightened. It could be that he never even had the intention to kill Godfrey.
You see, Leonardo, no matter how hard we try to be saints and devote our life to prayer, we can't shed our brute instincts. Here we have the proof.
I've never encountered anyone in my whole life who bashed in a monk's skull simply because their brute instincts forced them to. I assure you, this killer had his reasons.
With or without a motive, it's clear that we are all victims of our sins.
No, my friend. In this case, the victim is that dead brother over there, not his murderer. But perhaps we weren't referring to this case at all, were we?
You're talking like when we were back in the seminary, Leonardo.
Indeed I am. But the world has hardly changed since then, too. It's all remained the same. It's a pity that everyone already knows that Godfrey is dead.
What makes you say that?
The killer is still amongst us, and he knew that the body would be discovered sooner or later. He was most certainly prepared for the point in time when the body was first discovered, but not for the fact that the day would go by without someone finding it.
How ingenious, Leonardo.
My intention was to look for a brother who acts nervous and is easily startled. Someone on their guard.
But you didn't reckon with the easily impressionable youngster you got under your wing.
Well,
Was Godfrey very popular at the Abbey?
All I can tell you is, it wasn't a problem.
Different from the case with Anselmo.
Do you think there's a connection between the two murders?
Yes, I'm sure.
One thing is clear. Gottfried was murdered. I can't say the same about Anselmo.
And yet, don't you find it strange that both things occurred in such a short period of time?
That's not nearly enough for a theory, Leonardo.
That might be, or it might not be. I must go, Eladio.
It's going to be a long day, isn't it, my friend?
It already is. What do you know about poisons?
Only the basics, and I'm not an expert either. I'm familiar with some of the very potent ones like belladonna. By the way, I read something very curious about belladonna. When combined with other elements, its toxic ability is reduced, and it acts like a soporific. I don't recall what the formula was at the moment, but it's all written in the book.
In which book?
In the tract entitled Herbula Venenosa. Why do you ask? Do you feel like poisoning somebody, Leonardo?
No, but you know how inquisitive I am. And besides, being familiar with belladonna's therapeutic properties could be useful one day. You never know.
Master,
Yes, Bruno, I'm coming.
that's what was used to kill Godfried, wasn't it?
Yes, no doubt about it.
It's a gravedigger's tool. Egidio is the killer.
It's more important that you keep your mouth shut and use your head.
Oh, gee. Do you need that book?
Yes. Why?
Because Brother Eladio has been consulting the book. I was told to collect it and return it to the archives. That is, if you're not going to use it.
I would have thought copyists don't take care of tasks like that.
Well, yes, that's true. You haven't heard, have you? Brother Marcello has appointed me to be assistant librarian.
Congratulations. I see they don't waste any time here.
Are you looking for Brother Godfrey's killer in a book about plants?
I'm trying to, but it seems that anything to do with the library is a constant trial of an investigator's patience. I don't tell you how to do your work, don't tell me how to do mine.
As you like. What are you doing here? Don't you have any shelves to be put in order?
Yes, brother.
Then get to it, now! You're not the only one who's capable of replacing Godfried.
Let's see. It's a tract on medicinal herbs. Here is the formula that Eladio told me about. I'll copy it so that I don't forget it. Snuff, a leaf of belladonna, thyme, distill it all. Finished. Now I've got the formula. Brother Umberto?
Brother Leonardo. But, my God, what a disaster. Now I'll have to start all over again.
I'm sorry. I didn't intend to startle you. Allow me to help.
No, don't trouble yourself.
But
Give that to me. Thank you, brother. You can head on now. I've a lot to do.
that parchment there!
Parchment? Which parchment?
The parchment I just held in my hand.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You've just concealed it in the book you have there.
Book? What book? Look, brother, I have no time for games. Devote your time to clearing up murders. That's your bailiwick.
I will get my hands on that manuscript.
Whatever you say. Off with you. I'm busy. I must finish the work, because it's going to be time to eat soon and my stomach's going to start to growl like a... Did you hear that? I'm terribly hungry. And thanks to you, I won't eat until later.
Master, did you notice?
Yes, Bruno. That was the parchment we had in the room.
He doesn't want to give it to us.
We'll find a way to recover it. Don't worry.